All right. Real live. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. I'm Dr. Tiy-E. Welcome to another episode of S.L.A.M, Sex, Love, and the Misunderstanding. We're broadcasting Chicago, Illinois, downtown Chicago. All my Chi-Town people, stand up. House music forever. Dan Ryan forever. Lakeshore forever. South Sea forever. Today is Chicago's day because we have some very special guests. But before I introduce my guests, as always, we got to bring the good father into the house. So I'm going to ask my guests to join hands with me. We thank you, dear Father God, for the blessings of this day. We thank you for the love, life, and loyalty that you put into our hearts, our minds, our bodies, and our spirits. We thank you for all that is, all that was, and all that shall be. We thank you for the people here on this show today. We thank you for the people in this room today. We ask you to give everyone the strength that we've earned through your divine guidance and strength. We praise, honor, love, and worship, and for you always. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right. So, all right, coming in at 165 and a whopping 6'10", we have Cortez Charles. I'll give it up for Cortez Charles. Woo! He's so sexy. He's so sexy. And over here, his better half. Getting ready to marry this man without a doubt in 2 days. She's been through the fire. She has seen the coming of the Lord. And now she's getting ready to marry this man and say, I do, on Friday, August 31st. Give some love for Holly Pouncil. Y'all pronounce that right, Pouncil? Pancel. Get let it roll off the back of the tongue, not the front of the tongue, but the back of the tongue. All right, tonight's show is going to be hot. First of all, again, Dr. Tiy-E, licensed professional counselor, national certified counselor. I have a private practice in downtown Decatur. I'm a marriage and relationship therapist specializing in helping people become happy, in marriage and relationships. Because if you're alone, it's not fun. People, you gotta have somebody to be somebody. That's my logo. That's my slogan. You gotta have somebody to be somebody. All that happily single, I'm over here and said shit. People putting out there, no, nobody's happy being single. You all right, man? You okay? You good? But it's nothing like having somebody that you can come home and share your life with. It's a beautiful thing. All right, so I got a lot of questions for this couple. Yes. They are getting married in 2 days. In less than 48 hours, they're gonna be like da-da-da-da. He's gonna take some cake and smash her face, and she's gonna do an R. Kelly on him. Whatever that means. I don't know what that means, but that's what he told me. She's gonna do an R. Kelly. That's what she told me. Okay. They don't pay me for this. I'm just saying. All right. So we're gonna have some fun tonight. So, a lot of people watching the show, I want you to share. Anyone who has thought about getting married, who is engaged to get married, who's inspired to get married, or who is married. And those days before, like, people want to know, like, both of my people here, I know they're like they're in their early 30s, but they're in their early 35s. And they're a mature audience. So now to we're getting married now at this stage of our life. What got us to this point? We're going to talk about those things. So for my sisters out there who always emailing me, inboxing me, I've lost hope, Dr. Muhammad. I can't find a good man. What's going on with me? Am I the problem? Tonight I'm going to ask these people some questions that you're going to want to know, because I'm going to get not deep and dirty, but deep and honest. All right? So, Cortez, introduce yourself and tell the audience about you.
Hi, yes, I'm Cortez.
See that word say look? That's what we're looking at.
Absolutely. I'm Cortez Charles, friend of Tiy-E Muhammad for over 32 years, probably. Yeah, so he and I actually met at Dover Air Force Base back in 1988.
You're doing too much. You're doing way too much.
88.
Stick to you.
And we've been tight friends ever since then.
Okay.
I'm the godfather of his children. And
I told him to talk about him.
And
I'm gonna pray for your sister.
Just as a backdrop, and I'm originally from Chicago. That's where we're having our wedding.
Okay.
All right.
Professionally, what do you do?
Professionally,
you got like 16 degrees.
Yeah, I
you used to fly planes and air traffic controller.
I'm a former pilot and air traffic controller at 3 major airports, and that, in addition to now, I work for a French investment bank as a corporate financial analyst, helping companies realize their dreams and helping them do acquisitions, leverage buyouts, and also acquisition of software that runs into the millions of dollars for a lot of companies. So
I have no idea what
my
that
dreams.
means. I have no idea what that means. Good God. But y'all show some love. Throw some hearts to my man Cortez Charles, longtime friend. This is a good brother right here. And Holly Pansel.
I'm Holly Pansel. I was born in Newark, New Jersey, Newark the Bricks.
New Jersey.
Raised in North Jersey. I'm an account manager, work for an insurance company. I dabble in catering a little bit. Proud member of Delta Sigma Theta. Incorporated.
Shout out to my wife.
Yes.
All right. Shout out to the AKA that's in the room. All right, so I'm going to get started with these questions. Now, people, also, I want you to all to take part in this. You're part of Holly and Cortez's wedding to be as well. I want you guys to take part in this. If you have a question for them, please don't hesitate to ask. Draw it up. I got my man, Maurice from XL Transportation and Maceo, James Washington, Maceo Photos in the house. I got my girl Sonia Chapman's gonna come on later, talk about couple etiquette. Tell you tonight's gonna be a fully compacted show. We're gonna talk about some things. All right, I'm gonna start with you, Holly, because she's the queen to be. All right, you all have dated for years. How did you know he was the one? And how did you know the time is now?
How did I know he was the one? I think because he demonstrated that he was really committed, that he wanted to be in a relationship, that he was willing to, that he listened to me when I gave him feedback about things, negative or positive, and really acted on that feedback.
Okay.
And just sincerely, he told me when we first met that he was a couples kind of guy, and I'm that kind of woman. And he just needed to find the right person. And I think once I just felt like I knew I could trust him, I knew he was the one. I believed that he wanted to be in a committed relationship.
So it wasn't his dance moves or his infatuation with Prince that got you?
No.
Back in the day, you could do a full split and bring yourself up by the back of the shirt.
I believe it. Yeah. He would probably try that today, too.
Don't do it.
Although I love his love for Prince and all things house music and music in general. But
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now it's your turn. You and Holly dated for years.
Yes.
How many years has it been? 6?
We've been engaged a little over 1 year, and we've been together a total of 6 years. Yeah.
6 years. Okay. You've been dating for 6 years. Mm-hmm. How did you know Holly was the one, and how did you know the time is now?
Well, it's a little complicated for us men than women probably, and I think for me it was when I saw that she was supportive of my vision.
Okay.
I think one of the classic things is that, in finance, you really want to find your niche. And I was not able to find my niche here in New Jersey. So in the midst of our relationship, I told her that I was offered a job down in Atlanta.
Okay.
And so that would mean that, that was just the terms of our relationship. Then I would have to move down to Atlanta. Okay. And whether or not we should terminate the relationship or at least try to make a go of it. And just coincidentally, where my office was in Atlanta, she had an office building that she worked from remotely. Okay. She was in Atlanta. So we made a commitment to go back and forth for about 6 weeks. I had a supervisor who was really more than willing to help me out of my situation, plus that, and I had children up north as well. Okay. So when I saw the lengths that she was willing to support my vision, that consecrated it for me.
Okay. Consecrated. Wow. Yeah. So, all right, I'm gonna start with you this time. For those looking for a mate to have non-negotiables, what are both of yours? What are your non-negotiables?
Non-negotiables are dishonesty is one. Okay. And I think the other one is the lack of having thorough communication. And one of the things that I established early in our relationship is that we're to have 4 A's to communicating. And communication, of course, everybody talks about it ad nauseum about how important communication is. Now, you're a wordsmith too.
I know, but still pissing me.
All right. Well, for us, we demonstrated communication is attention, awareness, appreciation, then acknowledgement. Okay. And so through our ability to talk about and work through our problems and really have a free form, to have the ability to talk about whatever it is that was on your mind, and just having, we would have many late night discussions and honest discussions, and some of them weren't always easy to have, but always being willing to give each other an audience.
Okay, so me and the the etiquette coaches we're going to bring on later. We talked about this earlier before you guys got here. We talked about the whole non-negotiable, output, the theme of it. It sounds cute. But once you invested a lot of time, a lot of what we consider non-negotiables are just part of our day-to-day. So I want you guys to really think about, you stay yours now because I'm going to get to Holly. What's something that if it happens, you're like, you know what? I'm done. This is a non-negotiable. Under no circumstances can this happen for you. What's a non-negotiable? If it.
I think I agree. I agree with dishonesty,
Okay.
and that can come in any form or fashion. If I find out that you're a habitual liar, if
Okay.
you're a cheater,
Okay.
if
Habitual cheater or a cheater?
I'm not going to split differences there.
Okay, all right. Just
Cheater, a cheater.
Okay, a cheater. Okay, got it. Okay.
And if you're not honest and have integrity in the way you interact in your professional life and with other people too. It's not just about how you treat me. How do you treat other people? And then another thing for me is I need to feel appreciated. I will go to the ends of the earth for you if you demonstrate that you appreciate my effort. When you don't, and you're consistent about that, and I start to feel like you're taking me for granted.
Okay.
You lose something from me.
And I will say this: we have a true fire and air sign dynamic here, which I absolutely love. We have the Gemini over here with Holly, and we have the Leo over here. We got the air signs representing. I love my air sign because I'm an air sign. The coldest signs in the world. Shout out to my Virgos. I hate y'all. Shout out to my Scorpios. I don't like y'all either, and I love you. You know what I'm saying? So understand it. Again, I know some people don't believe in astrology. I'm telling you, look into the sign dynamics because air's first attraction is the fire. So, you being with, that's the way it goes. Yeah. Next question. Have you had a major disagreement? And if so, how did you work through it?
We've had a few major disagreements.
Okay.
The funny thing is, I was thinking about that question. The funny thing is, I know we had major disagreements, but none of them stuck.
Right.
So then that begs the question, was it really a major disagreement?
Okay.
At the time, it felt like it.
Okay.
But nothing sticks with me now. Like, there's nothing that he's really done where I still, how women, we hold on to things.
Right.
There's nothing really that he's done where I will pull it out of my hat in 10 years and still ready to come. Like, it's just, we just get past it, and for the most part, we move on.
Okay.
But I couldn't think of anything specific.
Okay.
Nothing really specific.
Okay, well, over here, oh gosh, the Leo.
Yeah.
Have you had a major disagreement, and if so, how did you work through it?
I hate to dovetail on what she's saying.
Dovetail?
I don't eat pork, so I don't say piggy bite.
Okay, all right. Okay.
So,
oh God.
So
can somebody hand me some water, please? It's gonna be a long show. Thank you, sir.
So nothing that I can say stands out in my mind, and I guess probably that's one of the reasons why we're about to have nuptials on Friday, because there's nothing that I have that's been demonstrated to me that she has come across as dishonest or unworthy or anything of that magnitude. I think she's always been very consistent, very loving, very supportive, and for me, there's two reasons only why a man should get married, and one is A, she adds value to your life, and B, she makes you a better person. So
okay, all right, beautiful. You guys are so freaking cute. Okay, so I'm gonna start with you. Have you all considered kids, prenup, and where you live, and how you worship? We're gonna start with, have you considered kids?
Well, I already have two kids. I have two children, one age 20, one age 12.
Okay.
And I just turned 50. So.
All right. So what does that mean?
Well, you know what? There's room for adoption.
Okay. What about puppy?
I'm allergic to pet dander.
Oh God. Okay.
I want a cat.
Oh yeah. Cats are the devil. Okay. I'm allergic to that. Oh God. Okay. What about a prenup?
Well, again, when you're making those career transitions,
okay,
and you kind of exhaust a lot of. So I don't have as much as I would like to be able to put on the table and say, no, you can't have. But even if, I come from a tradition where my mother taught me, well, you don't take anything that doesn't belong to you or that you didn't work for. So a prenup for me is not a requirement, even if she, had tens of millions of dollars in property. In my mind, I just could never see myself grabbing after something that I didn't work for.
That you didn't earn.
That I didn't earn. And, because of, I would like to think I'm a person of integrity.
What about where you live? Where you
Oh
and Tina
gosh.
live?
Well, see, that used to come up interesting early in our relationship.
So you guys live where now in New Jersey?
We live in Palmyra, New Jersey. I mean, right near Cherry Hill.
Okay, so yeah, and you're from Chicago, so if you guys consider moving back to Chicago,
Well, that's been on the menu, but
don't do it. Go ahead.
even deeper than that, I wanted to move overseas to Dubai. Yeah, I mean, racism in America has gotten so out of control that, you know, when I pull up to our parking lot,
Okay.
I mean, I'm thankful that, you know, I didn't run into a situation that would have, you know, may have caused, and we just ran into a situation similar to this the other day with the police pulling us over for next to nothing. So, you know, I think when you have that.
That's because you got Cuban Gooding Jr. They want your autograph. Cuban Gooding in the house, people. Cuban Gooding. It's Cuban Gooding Jr. All right. So how about how you worship? How you worship?
Well, as you know, I followed you into Islam,
Okay.
and I became a practicing Muslim behind you, as I did being a vegetarian and hopefully soon a vegan. So I think my spiritual practice is just being spiritual at this juncture in my life. You know, I like to think that I listen to spiritual music. I have spiritual rituals that I do in terms of the ablution and prayer, meditation, things of that sort. I have a plethora of books on the subject matter.
Do you recognize this song that's about to come out of my mouth? Jesus is on the main line. Tell him what you want. Okay, well, you're all right then. All right. Holly, have you considered kids? Okay. What about a prenup?
Oddly enough, I considered it more for him than for me because I know his prior marriage took a lot out of him financially. So I honestly thought that he would be more concerned about finding himself in a situation like that again. I have a pretty solid career and I've done pretty well, but I don't think I need to consider that with him. Okay. So I never really thought about it from my own perspective. I should have a little bit more, but I haven't really done that.
She said she does really well. Can brother borrow about 500,000 small bills, please? What about where you two would live?
We're we about leaving. I mean, I was like, no, my people built this country. Right. We're gonna stay here and work it out. My family's here, and I'm not particularly interested in Dubai for a number of reasons. But since 2016, I am a little bit more open to the idea of leaving. Maybe not to Dubai, maybe Costa Rica,
Canada,
Barbados, Canada, somewhere where it doesn't feel so like it just feels the racism is real oppressive right now. Breathing while black is a problem. So, yeah.
How about worship?
I'm a Christian. Okay. But I am open to knowing more and understanding more about the tenets of Islam. It hasn't really come up. I would go to the mosque with him, and he'll go to church with me. We haven't really had those kinds of issues. I think we probably would have if we did have children. But I think at that point I'd have to concede that the child was going to be raised Muslim because I think that's important to him.
Okay, so does this sound familiar? Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Sounds familiar? Okay, for those who don't know, that means God is good. All right. So, next question. Were there any issues you really had to struggle to get through before getting to this point?
Yeah, I think, we're both people of a certain age. And I think we're both settled in our ways a little bit. And for me, it's been a little bit of an adjustment to kind of acknowledge that some of the things that I'm accustomed to doing, that I'm used to doing, that I feel like are the correct way of doing things. Right. That there may be another viewpoint on that, or a different way to do it, a different way to approach things. Okay. I'm what I've done has worked for me to some degree. Okay. Never got me a husband though, so that's why you have to say, well, maybe you need to step back and maybe adjust a little bit.
Okay, hold on. Say that again, because hear what Sister Holly is saying. We're gonna get to Cortez in a minute. What she just said was, I'm gonna let her say it again. Go ahead.
Just that what I was doing, I felt like it was working for me, but it was working for me to the point that I was still very single when I wanted to be in a committed relationship. It didn't get me a husband. So he's taught me that I've had to make some adjustments. I didn't think I had to be quite honest with you. My ego told me I was all right.
Yeah, right.
And I've had to kind of shift and pivot a little bit.
All right. It's okay. It's okay. You can make some sticky moves.
But it's been hard.
Right.
It's been hard.
So the nice when you say, you know what, put on the gloves. I want to hit you in your face. I want to punch you dead in your good eye. You only got one good eye. How do you refrain from that? How do you come back from that? How do you come back and say, you know what, I'm good? How do you get to that point?
When we're really angry?
Yes.
Well, see, okay, so that's one thing we're still working through. I'm one of those people where I inherited my mother's sharp tongue.
Okay.
So I got a mouth on me sometimes.
Okay.
And
a good coach, you hear that, right? You should come over and break it down for
a little bit of a potty mouth.
Okay.
And I get heated. I don't get angry just at anything, but once I'm mad, I'm mad.
Okay.
And so I've had to learn to dial that back a lot. And
what about chocolate chip cookies?
Watch my mouth.
I'm just saying, once you mad, like, just go get some cookies.
Yeah. What I try to do occasionally is just step away.
Okay.
Because something, once you say something, you can't take it back.
This is true.
And words can hurt. Words have power, so he likes to just sit and hash it out. He's like a dog with a bone. He's just going to sit. He's going to stay there with you.
And you heard it right here. Cortez
coming
Charles
at you like
is the dog with the bone. We will settle this right now, Holly, by any means necessary. Malcolm to the people.
Yeah. And I think he feels it's a little disrespectful when I say, I need a minute. And he's like, well, no, we need to work this out. We need to continue this conversation. And I'm like, it's not going to go anywhere positive if we do that. So let's just.
So he needs to listen. It reminds me of a story. One of my clients came in and she says, my husband wants sex too much to the point where it's uncomfortable. So I started using KY jelly. He got upset with me because I was using KY jelly. And she needed that because she was uncomfortable. If your mate is uncomfortable and they're telling you they're uncomfortable with a certain methodology that's being utilized in a relationship, that means you got to stop and walk away. Got to get that person that air to breathe because people handle situations differently. I'm the same way. Like, let me breathe out. Do you? Yeah, Hollis. And I'm so good with it. My wife says I'm bad because she said, because if I have an issue with you, I'll come back 4 days later because I let things marinate for a minute because I have to process it. And I don't never want to talk to you from an angry place. You see what I'm saying? Even when my children were little, I never spanked them in an angry place because I know if I say something out of my mouth, it's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
There's no like, oh, baby, I'm sorry. The word sorry don't mean shit, people. People, especially if you're able-minded body, whatever comes out of your mouth, you were able to process that. It was premeditated, thus you meant it. To come back and say, I didn't mean it. Bullshit. Bullshit and bullshit. Now y'all get it. Had a moment. Not bad. It's not about me tonight. Ooh, pray for me, people. Pray for me. Okay? Cortez,
yes, brother.
Were there any issues you really had to struggle to get through before getting to this point?
Wow. I think what she's talking about in the instance that most men really care about three things.
Okay.
And those three things are food, sex, and respect.
Is that in some kind of order?
No order.
So a key to a man's heart is not food, it's head. You do realize that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I do realize that.
So it's sex, food, and...
Sex, food, and respect.
Okay, got it.
Sex, no, really. I mean, really.
Yeah,
men are very simple like that. And, and I think, one of the things that you have to realize, what I come to realize is that we both have very demanding lives, and and so, I as you know, I was in the military. I also cooked as well. So, I'm not above cooking, and doing ritualistic house things.
Do you mind folding, washing cleothes, washing dishes?
I do all the time.
Okay.
I do all the time. I'm very domesticated in that respect. I'm the oldest of three boys, and so my mother leaned on me.
You come to learn to wash my car and my wife's car.
No.
I just thought you said he was domestic. My bad. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, I won't do that.
Okay. All right.
But I will hire somebody for you.
Okay. I appreciate that. Do we have any questions, Maurice? Anything on the phones? All right, people. Do you have any questions? I'm working with. I'm not gonna say a bootleg producer, but my executive producer is not in the house tonight. So I'm working with my brother, brother Maurice from XL Transportation in the house for me. We got a few more questions, people. Because I'm very excited for these two because I've known them for years, and they're getting married almost 2 years after the date that I got married. So I'm like, wow, this is exciting because I'm like, you know, they were just in my wedding, so I'm gonna be at their wedding. Like, oh my God, so it's so exciting, and because it's something about love, and you know, anyone who knows me knows I'm all about Black love, and just to see that, you know, because we're always talking about there are no good fathers out here, there's no good men out here, and Black women are too aggressive, you can't marry them, and they're too demanding, and it is just bullshit. People, there are people, you know, there's a lot more. You see a lot more happy couples than you see couples that are going astray or couples that are not getting along. It's what's publicized. You know what I'm saying? We need to do more publicizing of happy marriages and happy relationships. So the next question. Who was that? Who got to start off with last the first time?
I think it was me.
Okay. Are there any issues you're still apprehensive about or just want to talk through before you walk the aisle on Friday? Are there any issues you are still apprehensive about or just want to talk through before you walk the aisle on Friday?
We're probably going to have to talk a little bit more about how we approach money and money management. I know that's been important to him, and he doesn't feel like we've spent enough time having those discussions. So that's the one thing that comes to mind. Other than that, you know, I think we're good. I mean, probably a little bit more about what role he sees me playing with his children.
Okay.
Because they're different ages, and I have a different relationship with his daughter, and a fairly minimal one with his son. For some reasons. So just, you know, where he sees me in that, and you know. In that
so you're gonna be able to whoop their ass?
No ass.
I'm just joking. We don't believe in punishment, people. Yeah, we're an anti-hazing organization here. So, all right. Is there anything you're apprehensive about, or just want to talk to before?
Oh gosh, apprehensive. You know, I think for me, I think one of the biggest lessons, you know, because because Leos have a tendency to keep things in rather than yeah, and I think of any conversation that I've ever had with you in the past, it was about being honest with your emotions. You know, there on the spot, and it's not hold them and wait for a later date.
Yes.
You know, just, you know, and I think that was probably something I need to project what I'm thinking and feeling more. But other than that, and I can't say any across the board issues that are so, you know, huge that, you know.
Okay. So now we get into the good part, people. Remember, if you haven't shared this show tonight, share with your friends. We get into this hot topic tonight. What do you do is 2 days before marriage. What does that look like? Before I say I do, you know, this is what I want to get off my chest. All right. What are you looking forward to most about being married? And let me throw this out there. Here's the interesting about marriage and the wedding. Women are raised looking forward to the wedding. Men are raised looking forward to being married, which is two totally different things. Women, the marriage, going into the marriage, that's their biggest day of their life. Oh my God, I'm getting married on August 31st. But when you ask them about September 1st, it's like, I ain't thought about that. Whereas the man is like, oh man, September 1st, I'm gonna get unlimited sex, I'm gonna get unlimited food, I'm about to be kicking with my wife. You know, it's this whole happy thing, and we're on 2 different pages. So we have to understand like the different dynamics that we're working out of as man and woman before we come together and bridge that gap and have these discussions. So with that being said, what are you looking forward to most about being married that will be different from how things are right now?
Okay, well, you know, I think one of the things for me is that I want to be able to pay off her home.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that would be. Yeah, I'm really excited about, you know, I do quite well in my present capacity, and just being a support system for her, whereas she may not have had that in her prior relationships, you know, to the degree in which I'm attempting to exhibit it. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Shout outs. Okay. We go do some shout outs and we'll get to you, Holly. All right. Shout outs. We got Victoria McGee, Tanisha Cham, Christina Pulliam. What's going on, Michigan? AKA Little AP. Janina Hightower. If you said it, you meant it. Laverne Gray. What's going on, Go? Sharina Goldsmith. Sister. What's going on, South Sea? Lonzo Duncan. James Washington. Isaiah Gordon. Reese Turner, AKA the Chocolate Vegan. Jasmine Gow. You finally decided to come and tune in with us. You've been on hiatus, but we'll deal with you later. All right, so thank you everybody for tuning in again. We're broadcasting live from Chicago tonight, having a great show. I mean, Jasmine Terry.
Oh, okay.
Jasmine Terry. My bad. I had an old school moment. So, so now it's your turn, Holly. What are you looking forward to most about being married that will be different from how things are right now?
Well, you made an interesting statement. I wasn't one of those girls that grew up dreaming about a wedding. I just didn't do it. But having said that, I always wanted to be married, but I always wanted to have, I think it's nice to have a beautiful wedding, but I think it's more important to have a beautiful marriage. So I just want somebody, I'm looking forward to having someone I can just build with. And I'm about legacy and what do we leave behind when we're no longer here? And both financially and just spiritually, what are you leaving behind? What are people going to say about you as a couple? What kind of examples are you going to be to maybe younger people? I have a bunch of little sisters, I call them, that are about 10 years behind me. And they're all aspiring to do certain things, and particularly on a personal level. I just want to be that kind of couple where they figured it out. So I want us to figure it out and stay together and be a team and the security. That's one thing. I've been on my own since I was 18, and I've always been proud to say that I can take care of myself. But I am looking forward to being with somebody who's willing to take care of me as much as I'm willing to take care of them. That's the biggest thing for me. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to the next question. You all have an incredible wedding that's planned, but I know you have two. I know you two have also planned for life after. Where do you hope you guys are in 5 years? Where do you see you and Cortez in 5 years? Definitely in a different home. Okay. Bigger home. Okay. Why bigger? There's no children. What do you need bigger for? Why not smaller? A lot of stuff. His clothes, his shoes, his books. Art. Did I mention his books? His artwork. His shoes. Did I mention his shoes? Yeah. The shoes, the books, the artwork, and the clothes. Yeah. And his stereo systems and all that stuff. His electronics. Are you a DJ?
Aspiring.
Oh gosh. All right.
He likes his stuff.
And I like audio. I'm an audiophile.
Then they got this new adventure called a storage. That absolutely it works. I mean, for about $30 a month, you can put all that shit in storage and live happily ever after.
We're gonna have a contemporaneous Art Deco style home.
6 syllables tonight on the slam, people. You just heard a 6-syllable word right on the slam. It gets no better than that. So I'm gonna ask one more question and I'm gonna let you guys go.
All right.
So, and we touched on this earlier. I want to ask you this. What's more important to you, your thoughts every day? Is it more about food or sex?
Ooh, that's a loaded question. It depends on the day.
Okay, but on a day, for example, and when you wake up in the morning, you think like, man, what do you think about? Think about sex? You think about, what am I going to eat for breakfast? On the average, which one is most important? On the average.
This isn't fair. I mean,
I'm
going to say for now food.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you why, though.
Okay.
Because we have been hitting the gym a lot, hard. I mean, he's in the gym at like 5. I'm in the gym at like 5:30. I have to eat something before I go to the gym. That's what you're going to run with? Yeah.
Okay, that works. Yeah. I like that. And you, Sir Cortez, now mind you, this dude is a food connoisseur. I mean, he knows every restaurant in Chicago, Atlanta, New Jersey. I'm like, dude, I'm not that dude. I got 2 or 3 restaurants and I'm all right.
Yeah.
Which one thought during the day impedes your thought most during the day? Sex or food?
Definitely sex.
Definitely sex. So, with that being said, I want you guys to clearly understand the different dynamics that goes through a man. You understand what goes through his head daily. And you understand the same fixation you have on food is what he has on sex. The same fixation that she has on same fixation you have on sex is what she has on food. Yeah. So you gotta be able to compromise and understand that. A lot of times, either dynamic like, why do you think about food so much? Why do you think about sex so much? It's like, well, that's how I'm built. I'm not you. And men want respect, women want love. So it's very important that you guys understand that going into your marriage. That's my token to you guys. Like, understand, like, hey, what the greatest gift you can give her is love. The gift of love. Love means romance her. Always make her feel beautiful. Always go out of your way. She should have flowers and candy, whatever she likes. Make her feel like, show her that she's the most beautiful woman on earth to you at all times. Sure. With him, just give him head. That's all you gotta do. That's all you got. I'm just saying. It's a real simple question for me.
Simple enough.
It's real simple for me. I want to go on from a therapist perspective and give you this whole more beautiful than thought answer. That's all you gotta do.
Okay.
That's all you gotta do. You come in and it can't be premeditated or come on, let me suck it. It has to be a thing of you have to enjoy your husband. Enjoy him. So, because Chris Rock said it best. Have you seen Tamarine?
Yes.
Okay, he said it best. He said, a woman would take your man, but a man would not take your woman. He'll have sex with her, great sex with her, but he'll bring her back. He would bring her ass back, like, hey, she's yours. But a woman, see, you got a good man, it's like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna take care of him for you. That's the nature of the game. So I want to wish you guys marriage blessings for myself and my wife, Lori.
Thank you.
And you said something very important earlier about being the example. That's something my wife and I have strived to be since we got back together. It's just being the example. People say, you know what? There are people who can live harmoniously together and enjoy each other. And, you know, you're going to have your moments. But truly, there's no joy without pain in life, period. Joy and pain are synonymous. You got to go through pain. You got to go through those rough moments in order to accelerate with the love, right? And same for you, you know what I'm saying? She's not your mother. He's not your daddy. You know what I'm saying? You guys are 1 and 2 together. And I just want to thank you too and have fun. So I'm going to ask you to leave, and I'm going to bring my etiquette coach over here. Absolutely. And let her do her thing. Y'all show some love for my brother Cortez Charles. Maurice or James, can you text Q and make sure he's sharing? Okay. Yeah, can you stay left? Thank you. Okay.
What you
Shout
doing?
outs.
Working?
Okay, before Miss Chapman, oh gosh. Fatima Crawford, Shelley Parks, Rose Padilla, Janina Hightower again, Lita Cantrell Newell. What's going on, Lulu? Kimberly Robin, Luana Coles, Alonzo Duncan. I just want to again shout out to everyone who is watching tonight. We're having a good time. And make sure you text Q, make sure you share. So I have the very beautiful and a longtime friend of mine since high school. She's known me since I'm still the man, but I was the man back in the day. From the V, you know what I'm saying? I walk into school, she's like, can I carry your books? Can I carry your books? I was just like, Miss Chapman, you know what I'm saying? Not today. No, but this is my girl. Representing the lovely ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha. She's an etiquette coach, co-pastor, the first lady.
Yes.
First lady at a church. Our daddy tried to convert me years ago. Rest in peace, my brother. He was like, oh, I don't even tell you about that. About none of this discussion. He was like, you need Jesus, son. I was like, what I need is a double stack from Wendy's with extra mayo. No, I want to let Sonia talk to you guys.
Oh See, I don't even know where to start, but thank you so much, Dr. Tiy-E.
Tell us about what you do.
So my name is Sonia Chapman. I am an etiquette consultant. I also am an elect lady because First Lady is not in the Bible. I may get some pushback on that, but that's okay. I'm an elect lady. I have been married for 24 years to a wonderful man.
Benji!
Yes, that's his.
Yes,
Benny Chapman. Yes, A5. And I'm a mom. I have 2 beautiful children. And I pride myself on being a good mother and a good wife.
Yes.
Mainly a good wife.
And I love this new hairdo. Like Sonia's always had this long hair.
Yeah, cut it off.
Right now she's finding her inner sex.
But I want to say congratulations to the newlywed couple, Holly and Cortez. And I think just hearing them, I think you all are already on a good foundation, because the principles of etiquette is 3 principles: respect, consideration, and also being honest. But when you're being honest, you want to be tactful. So it's not really what you say, it's how you say it. And I heard respect and support so much while the 2 of you all were speaking. And that's the key. You want to make sure that you're respecting each other.
Okay.
And also to understand love language. And, you know, Dr. Tiy-E kind of spoke on that. Myself, my love language is affirmation. My husband knows that. And his love language is physical touch. So you were right on the money with that, you know. Physical touch, you know.
I'm just saying, makes everything better. Keeps your man happy.
But again, you want to make sure that, you know, one of the things is that you're supporting, you're encouraging one another. And again, it all umbrellas under the respect and the consideration. So if someone's going to be late, just out of respect, you call each other and let someone know I'm running late. Or, you know, it's just a little thing, sharing the remote control, you know, things like that. Again, that's just being respectful and being considerate of the other partner. And so I love what I do. I think that, and I brought this, I want everybody to see this. You can see this. It's the word submission. Usually when people get married, sometimes women frown at that word, but what I put around the box is mission. And so a woman never minds. Sub is kind of like under. They never mind falling under when a man has a mission for her. And so, you know, when a man has a mission for you, you know, submission doesn't mean anything because actually you both submit to one another.
Yes, exactly.
And that's the thing. It's not just about a woman being subservient to a man. It's about you really complimenting and supporting and respecting each other's visions and dreams and goals. That's what makes a healthy marriage. And with anything, with couple etiquette, whatever, again, just be considerate of one another.
You know what I always say that in terms of the submission piece, the woman should submit to God. The woman should submit to man as long as the man submits to God.
Absolutely.
And then you see that trilogy there. I mean, that trinity there.
Absolutely.
But only sometimes women. I've heard women say, "Well, I'm sorry." I've heard men say, "My woman don't trust me. She don't, do what I say do." Well, you ain't doing what God say do.
Exactly.
Because if you have that example, she's gonna follow you.
That's right.
Period.
That's right.
I always use the example of Love Jones. What's the brother name?
Darius.
Yes, you know that name. He was smoking cigarettes and she was like frowning at it. You know, then later on in the movie, she was smoking cigarettes. A woman will follow. Like if she see it,
I just noticed. And you know what? I never thought about that.
Yeah, if you got that swag, you got that. She will submit. Like Jesus is on
the main line. But another thing I think for couples, what they should do is have a creed in your marriage. You know, establish a creed. My husband and I, we have a creed. What's important to him is important to me. What's important to me should be important to him. And I think when you do that again, umbrellas under respect and being considerate and being really tactful. And we have, I don't know why black women have gotten labeled just having a shirt. We have venom in our tongue.
Especially the black man, like we're the enemy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that but the society is really places in. I heard Mr. Farrakhan say one day, it's like we're not left for left, we're left for right. It's a compliment of each other.
Absolutely.
But somehow we begin to look at each other as the enemy.
Absolutely.
You know, like you're my counter, you're my opponent.
Yeah.
You're my rival. You're my as opposed like man, you're my man. Like now I'm gonna say this, and ladies, don't hate me. Don't hate me. It goes back to when Obama was going against Clinton. You had sisters that were lined up to vote for Clinton that was pro-gender as opposed to pro-race. If those tables were turned and the brothers and the candidates were opposite, as far as there was a white man and a black woman, and we say we're going to go for this man for gender, we wouldn't have 600 years. The Pooh done. So ladies, I want y'all to understand, like, we got to, and men, don't get me wrong, I'm not giving men a pass, but because you guys have such a strong place in society right now, by design, don't start looking at your black men like you can tear them down and interrogate them, because it's this thing called like trust. And a lot of times you wonder why your man don't talk to you or talk to you the way or communicate with you, because he doesn't trust you. Because you probably at some point in time you tore him down or said some things to him that he can't rebound from. So it's all about, because again, that's all we have is respect, especially in our household, because out there they can shoot us on a dime, and there's no respect for us out there.
That is so
I don't care who you are. One of my clients, good brother, he's a lawyer, and he's like, yeah, I'm a lawyer. I'm very successful in what I do, but every time I see a police car, I get paranoid.
Yeah.
Me being a professional, but like we get paranoid daily because they can take us out. But and when we walk in our house, we're somebody, and more especially in the bedroom, and that's why sex right now is so important for the black man, because that's our title. That's our charter. That's what we got to hold on to, because we got these sucker jobs and making the money and being able to support our women the way you guys feel like you should be supported. And again, by design, and then you look at us like, well, I'm making more money. Yeah, you are, but the cards are stacked up in your favor. So I just want y'all to understand. I said this last thing. Ladies, we really go back to the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s. And before that, and saw how black women were depicted on television. And you guys fought very hard to get that stance and say, you know what, we're more than just prostitutes and drug users and battered women. We're successful, intelligent, beautiful, striving women. We're more than just the way y'all depict us in Hollywood. And now you guys have a strong voice. But with that strong voice, don't turn against your black man. Stand with your black man, because I guarantee you what they got planned for you is not for your good. All right,
yeah, I just want to end with I love that.
Okay.
I love that. Okay. But I just want to end with, black man, treat your woman like a queen.
Yes.
And I tell the women all the time, talk to the king in your man, not to the kid in your man. Always speak to the
Say
king.
it again. Say it again.
Speak to the king in your man and not the kid in your man.
So there are two kings. We keep going back to the. We keep going back. Oinky. I'm just saying, you got the big king, you got the little king. I mean, he can dethrone the big king anytime. I'm just saying. I'm just keeping it 100.
Oh, God.
I'm just keeping it 100. Ladies, the key to the king. I'm just saying.
I'm done.
No,
I'm done.
I want to thank my people tonight. I want to thank Sonya. Tell them how they can get in touch with you.
Yeah, so, and I meant to have a book.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yes. Can I plug my book?
Yeah, absolutely. Plug
Oh,
it.
please let me plug my book.
Okay.
So my book is called Manners in America Are Dead. In the book, I give you 95 quick and powerful tips how to win people over with the power of politeness. It is on Amazon.com.
Okay.
Amazon.com. Manners in America Are Dead.
Okay, by Sonya Chapman.
By Sonya Chapman. Chapman. Chapman.
P is for
Paul.
Okay. So again, I want to thank Sonya Chapman. I want to thank Holly Pansel. Pansel. I love that name, Pansel. I want to thank Cortez Charles. I want to thank my guy James Washington. Macy and Photo. James, anything you want to say to the people?
I'm good, man.
I want to thank Brother Maurice who came in and did a super job as a producer. Excellent presentation in the hour. Anything you want to say to the people, Maurice, aka the Chocolate Vegan?
I'm the chocolate.
You are the Chocolate Vegan. That's all you need to know. Hey, the Chocolate Vegan is coming to a store near you. Just when you see chocolate, you know he's a vegan. I don't know how else to put it. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. If you have any questions, please inbox me. Go get in touch with Sonya. And before we go, say congratulations, please, by showing hearts for Cortez and Holly. Just want to show them some love once again. Very, very, very happy for these two people. And I would tell you this is my future sister-in-law. If you get out of hand, call me. I will fly to Jersey. You'll be gone for a few days. We're gonna come back. Yes, baby. How can I help you?
Okay.
And she wish.
Okay.
I don't want no trouble. I don't want no trouble. But yo, we out of here. Peace and love. We love you. Yeah. Peace. Oh, I'm in Chicago. We in Chicago. We party tomorrow on Pier what?
Pier 31.
Pier 31. We're partying tomorrow evening. Pier 31. Come out, listen to some house music. Think you can dance? Come on out. Cortez will show us that he can do a full split and bring himself up the back of his shirt. All right, and we out. Love you. He in that. Got it.
That's a wrap.
Yes, sir.
That's good shit.